guys, it's Rachel here, and today I'm bringing you an update to my Book Riot Read Harder Challenge. At the beginning of this year, I decided to take part in the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge. There are 50 challenges that you can do throughout the year, and I mentioned this in my Read 5 Before I Buy video, and so I will link that down below if you guys are interested in it. But I decided to take part in this because I wanted to diversify my reading. I didn't think that I wasn't reading books that were not different, but I wanted to read something a little bit different that I wouldn't normally pick up on my own. Now, if you don't know about the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge, there are 50 challenges ranging from all different kinds of genres, authors, time periods, all kinds of different things that you can take part of to help to diversify your reading. Up to this point, I have finished 4 challenges, and for this month I have 2 challenges that I need to complete, and so I'm just going to let you guys know the 4 books that I've read so far for the Read Harder Challenge, and also for the 2 books that are the 2 challenges that I have for this month. Okay, so the 4 challenges that I have completed thus far are going to be an audiobook, a graphic novel, a sci-fi novel, and a book written before the 1850s. For the book that I read before the 1850s, I read Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I read this last month, I read this in the month of February, and I quite enjoyed it, so this was the first book that I completed for the Read Harder Challenge. For my graphic novel pick, the first graphic novel that I read this year was Alex and Ada by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn, and I quite enjoyed this as well. This has a very interesting concept to it, especially this itself could probably be considered sci-fi, but it's really cool. I love the muted panels, the colors, the very cool tone. It's very nice, and this was the first graphic novel that I read for the year. For my sci-fi novel, and one of my favorite books of all time, is going to be The Martian by Andy Weir. I absolutely love this. This was one of my favorite books of all time. This will absolutely be on my top books of the year. It was so great, and I was so happy to read this for my first sci-fi novel pick of the year. And then finally, for the audiobook, I chose to read Yes Please by Amy Poehler. This was my first graphic novel in a long time, and I really enjoyed it. I loved Amy Poehler's reading, her narration. I loved her story. It was so great. It was funny. It was great, and I highly recommend it if you want an audiobook to read. So those are the 4 books that I read, or the 4 things that I have completed for the Read Harder Challenge. For the month of April, I have 2 challenges that I need to complete, and they are a book that by someone that identifies as LGBTQ and a micro history. Now, I could go through a lot of different ones for the LGBTQ one because that seems to be pretty easy for me, because I do have a lot of David Levithan, and if you guys don't know, David Levithan is gay, so I thought that would be really good. But if you guys have any recommendations on transgender authors, that would be really cool. I have never read anything by a transgender author, and I think that would be really interesting. So if you guys have any recommendations, go ahead and leave me them down below. Same for a micro history. I've gotten several recommendations for a micro history, and I'm seeing from some that people are recommending Bill Bryson, and so that might be interesting. But if you guys have any recommendations for really good micro history, go ahead and let me know down below. So yeah, those are all the books that I am reading and that I've read so far for the Read Harder Challenge. If you guys didn't know how I'm doing it, I'm just taking this little container with all of the challenges inside it, and then at the beginning of the month I just shake it up and pick a couple out of there so that I can read that month. Some months I read more, some months I may read only 1, but just in hopes that I will go ahead and continue with this throughout the year. I'm really enjoying doing the Read Harder Challenge. It's really challenging me to pick out different types of books for myself that I wouldn't normally pick. But yeah, if you guys are participating in the Read Harder Challenge, go ahead and let me know down below and what books that you have read that you normally wouldn't read that you would really enjoyed. And yeah, thanks guys so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.